Good morning, and welcome to our 2016 Governor School East closing convocation. As I visited with you in the quad last night, several asked if I was going to talk about the saddest day today. But the way I see it, any day that I spend with the Governor School East community, including today, is the happiest day at Governor School East! Okay, thank you. This morning, as we will share memories of our past 5.5 weeks, we'll reflect on our experiences and we'll also look forward. We're going to begin our program with Maggie Hemmendinger with her original song, I'll Just Show Myself Out.
I'm reading this great book on anti-gravity, and I just can't seem to put it down. I'd tell you a chemistry joke, but I know I won't get a reaction. By the way, I used to be a banker, but I lost interest. It happens. And I hope that made you smile, even if it made you groan. Either way, I'll keep them right on coming. Deep down, I know you are cracking up inside, 'cause I'm pretty punny. Have you ever tried eating a clock? It's time-consuming. A man stole my milk, cream, and butter. How dare you? Stayed up all night looking for the sun. Then it dawned on me, it was an emotional wedding. Even a cake wasn't tears. And I hope that made you smile, even if it made you groan. Either way, I'll keep them right on coming. Deep down, I know you are cracking up inside, 'cause I'm pretty punny. Please don't punish me for my musically enhanced jokes. I wouldn't want to be arrested. I think we can all agree that guns don't harm anyone, so long as you don't think I'm the joke. And I hope that made you smile, even if it made you groan. Either way, I'll keep them right on coming. Deep down, I know you are cracking up inside, 'cause I'm pretty punny. Deep down, I know you are cracking up inside, 'cause I'm pretty punny. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. As we continue, I'd like to recognize Camilla Robertson. She serves as the special assistant to the Governor's School, who along with the coordinator, Tom Winton, work on Governor's School year-round. So almost a year ago, when you did all of your application and had all of these dreams about what Governor's School would be, Camilla and Tom are the ones that make that happen year-round, and we sure appreciate you. Thank you. I'd also like for us to take time to thank our host institution, Meredith College, and most especially the event staff, Bill Brown, Stephen McAdams, Jim Frick, and Brian Hunt. We truly know that our events could be lights on and lights off, but you work so hard to make everything so beautiful and to make us feel special and our programs to be wonderful. We really thank you for that. And anytime we need a classroom space at the last minute or we just need to change plans, you're always so gracious and we're really grateful. So thank you for that so much. I would like to now introduce Melissa and Julia. They're going to talk to you about the Governor School Foundation and Alumni Association.
Hello. I won't take long talking to you, but just so you know, 32 years ago, I was sitting in the same seat you were, feeling the same way you are right now, and I did not have people passing boxes of Kleenex. Yes, there you go. At any rate, I'm here on behalf of the Governor School Foundation. I know that y'all are more philanthropic than we were back in '84. We've talked to your parents, and many of your parents have provided some additional support today or are planning to provide some more later. But as you move out into the world, let me tell you, as you start thinking about philanthropic activities, Governor School Foundation would be a wonderful one for you to support. If you didn't know, Governor School Foundation, which is a 501c3, when Governor School was defunded by the legislature back in 2011, we kept Governor School alive in 2012. And then we did grassroots lobbying to make sure that Governor School would get refunded by the legislature, to make sure it was here for y'all. Additionally, we provide scholarships because not everybody's school system pays for tuition, and not everybody's family can afford a $500 tuition check to attend Governor School. So one of our missions is to make sure that anyone who is qualified for Governor School and who gets accepted will not turn down Governor School because of the cost of tuition. And finally, we actually provide $10,000 to each campus so that the directors, Laura and Rodney over at West, can do whatever they need to do to make your experience even better. So when y'all are thinking about donating, even if it's $5, even if it's $10, because I know you're getting ready to go to college, you're getting ready to have all those expenses, but think about the Governor School Foundation as an option for a place for you to support, to keep making sure that Governor School is available to students who come after you. Because 32 years ago, I wouldn't have thought about that, but I will tell you, I think about it every year now. So thank you so much, congratulations, and I hope you had a wonderful summer at Governor School.
Hi, I'm Julia Thompson. I am a 2001 alumnus of Governor School West. I was there for instrumental music, and I am a percussionist. So to tell you about the Governor School Alumni Association, first of all, welcome. You are now in the fold of over 40,000 alumni, I believe, spanning 5 decades. So the Governor School Alumni Association has 3 main goals, the first of which is to provide a forum through which alumni can stay connected. So we have 2 methods for doing that. One is our website, which is ncgsalumni.org. There you can find further information about the association, what we do, our mission statement, and various other information. We also have a Facebook group, and there currently we have close to 10,000 members, and this is again spanning like the entire 5+ decades of the Governor School existence. There you'll find information about Governor School related events. In recent years, we have been hosting events throughout the state. For example, here in Raleigh, we've gone to exhibits at the Art Museum, we've gone to poetry readings, musical events that may remind you of a Governor School type experience. We try to seek those out and form groups that can attend those. Also in the Facebook group, we provide a forum for alumni. So for example, as a young alumni, you are looking at colleges and like making those decisions and navigating navigating that path. So for example, you could post a question saying like, hey, I'm looking at NC State's engineering program. Who's gone there? These are the questions I have about that. And chances are somebody has gone there, can give you information, etc. Further down the road, looking at internships, jobs, etc. The Governor's School alumni base, it's like you will find people in every career just spanning the human existence, and everybody's willing to help out in some capacity. Second, we support the current session of Governor's School. So your alumni membership, which is a $20 lifetime membership, and I guarantee you is far, far cheaper than any alumni association you'll ever join. So I'm a UNC Chapel Hill alumnus. Last time I checked, the lifetime membership was $900. So just to put that in perspective. So the fund goes towards, so every year we provide a fund to both campuses to fund fun activities. So this can include things like an ice cream social, music, just various discretionary events. So essentially, like your $20 is paying it forward to the next Governor's School session. And finally, our third goal is to raise public awareness of the Governor's School. One thing we would encourage you to do when you get home is to write a letter to your state legislator. First of all, find out who your state legislator is, but send them a handwritten letter. And we say handwritten because in the bulk of mail that a legislator receives, a handwritten letter does stick out, and the aides are more likely to forward that on. But basically tell your legislator the positives of your experience. Just say, hi, I'm one of your constituents, I went to Governor's School. These are the positive things I got out of it, and thank you for your support. Essentially, you want to convince them that Governor's School is worth keeping for the long term. So, thank you.
Okay, and please take the donuts as you leave. Do not make me eat them or take them home.
Thank you, Melissa and Julia. You all know that whenever I come before the GSE community, I like to acknowledge how happy I am to be part of such an incredible experience. But I also know that today, especially today, is perhaps filled with other emotions as well. As I was preparing this speech last night, I heard staff members walking past my office, talking about how sad they were going to be that Governor's School was coming to an end. I've seen you all throw your arms around each other and talk about how much you're going to miss one another. I imagine that many here today are feeling a bit of a pull on their heartstrings because we really treasure the deep friendships that have formed as we've shared our adventures together. I bet you can remember on June 19th how you felt when we met together for the first time and heard words of welcome from Robin and Mary and Allison and Carl and Coach and other members of our staff. And it was on that day that we recognized our task ahead, to learn how to be the best governors possible. And now here we are, having experienced all those days in between. To give us some perspective on our Governor's School experience, I've asked several GSE students to share brief reflections, and we'll start with Lexi McCoy, who's going to talk to us about Area 1.
So I'm Lexi McCoy, and I'm here for instrumental music. I play bassoon. We all come here for Area 1, and we're all told we're here for natural science or for social science. And you go to your first class, and you think this is what you're here for, and that's it. But I think there's an important lesson to tell you that you are not limited, that you can be a musician and you can be a philosopher, you can be a biologist and you can go sing on American Idol. You can do whatever you want to do because you are all incredibly smart, incredibly talented, and I'm going to cry, so This Governor School experience will take you for the rest of your lives. So just know that what you've learned in these 5.5 weeks is just a mere inkling of all the talent and the power and the knowledge and the wisdom that you all have. So yes, you came here for one specific Area 1, but you left with so much more. Thank you.
Samantha Sankara is going to share with us about Area 2.
Hi, I'm Samantha Sankara. I'm here for social science, and Bill is one of my instructors, Stacey and Katie, awesome. So Area 2, I think, has meant a lot for us because for the past 16 or 17 years, we've been these sponges that have been absorbing all of our experiences, and everyone who has told us things has just been kind of soaked into these sponges. But after we came to Area 2 at Governor's School, it's felt like that sponge has been squeezed out and our holes have been unplugged. And we've been filling up the sponge with all sorts of different liquids. If they didn't work, we squeezed it out and tried new liquids. As we've heard all these different perspectives on various things, like the problem of evil and religion, or how we perceive art. But a sponge isn't just meant to sit there and do nothing. Coming to Area 2 at Governor's School taught us that we can use this sponge to clean up misunderstandings and divisions that are blocking us from coming together as a community, as we were a lot more open to hearing about other people's perspectives, and now we can critically challenge every idea and thought that comes our way to find out what's true for us. So in Area 2, we watched a film called The Matrix, and Georgia Dietz, my good friend, came up to me one day and proposed a theory that Governor's School East is the Matrix. So we gathered the evidence, and I wrote a spoken word poem about it, and it's titled The Truth with a Question Mark. There's a reason Governor's School East was created second. They needed enough time to perfect the computer code. GSW is the real world. It's located next to a graveyard because reality has become destroyed over time. GSE is the Matrix. Don't believe me? Why do you think they wrote down our MAC addresses from our laptops on day 1? To connect us up to the Matrix. Why do you think we had a mind journey shortly after Faircloth broke the windows? The music in the background was designed a certain way to keep us complacent with being at Governor's School. Why do you think they told us to go inside when it was thundering, even though it ended up not raining? They couldn't take any chances with water ruining the computer code that keeps the Matrix alive. These lanyards are connected like the plugs on the back of our heads. The food we are fed is what we are led to believe is real. Meaningless words said, sentences that are dead. Is it real, or is it all in my head? They don't want us to see the outside world. There's a reason there's boundaries. There's a reason there's laundry forgotten until 6 a.m. Sunday morning. There's a reason there's smoke outside Ledford 101. It's a glitch. And if you snitch, you'll be in a stitch. But which is it? We came here with our wit, thinking it would be lit. Only to find out that we would be hit with a non-existent reality. A reality that is questioned in Area 2 because that's what we do, figuring out what is true. But what is true? It's the happiest day of Governor's School East. Is it? Or is it words to brainwash us, to stop all the fuss? Time and mood is a social construct that we can only destruct with what is true. But what is true? It's the Matrix. But tricks are for kids, right? Are we kids? We've got lids on our feelings when we bid for the values in Area 3. Are you scared? Don't have fear, the evidence is clear. The techs are the secret agents. The agents who reinforce these lies before our own eyes, which we have come to despise? Or is it the truth in a different form, present all the way to our dorms because that's this community's societal norm? It's the truth, they tell us. But what is true? And are you the one?
Michael Chow is now going to share with us his reflection.
I'm no Lexi and I'm no Samitha. I might not be emotional and I might not have a way with words. And Laura Salem told me not to prepare a speech, so here goes nothing. Yes, I'm Michael Chow and I'm in instrumental music, but that's not important because let's talk about you, right? Because that's what Area 3 is about. You, right? It's talking about you, your goals, what you believe, what you think, why you think. Okay. But the thing I found interesting about Area 3 was we found ourselves through relationships with other people. My Area 3, I don't know, we were really tight-knit, if you guys, and I have a lot to thank them for. It's what you bring to the table. I have no idea. I'm rambling right now. I'm honestly really sorry. But, Area 3 was where I learned that people will understand you here at Governor's School, and I guess I have you guys to thank for that. But I think, I don't know, Victoria, if you're out there, could you stand up, please? Okay, so Victoria is, I don't know, I'm just going to use you as an example, because, I don't know, I came in with my own beliefs and my own stereotypes, but then I met a girl like Victoria, who basically took those stereotypes and smashed them to pieces. So, essentially, we take what we want. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm saying. I guess I'll just leave you with this. If we seek to assert before we seek to understand, our minds will be too solidified on our own opinions to hear those of others. So try and keep an open mind and listen to others before you speak yourself. Thank you.
Michael, I am glad that you did not prepare a speech because your words were exactly what we needed to hear. Thank you. We're now going to hear some students talk about Area 4, all the other. And so we'll start with Landon Bost, followed by Alyssa Mickle, and then concluding with Michael Shane. Landon.
Alright, so my name is Landon Bost, and Area 4 was just all the electives we did, and that was like the true joy of Governor's School, because I got to understand people outside of class, and they got to show their talents, and like, you guys are the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. I've learned so much from you. Like, I found new passions I would have never done before, like Chuck, poetry. Like, I love poetry now. I would have never done that back home. yeah. So like I said, Area 4 really meant something to me. And like all the coordinators, and like all the tags too, because the tags are the ones and the coordinators that put these Area 4s on, and they're really good. And then Monica with hip hop dance. And not just the hip hop dance, but the actual dances. Where's Darian at? Those are good. Dorian! But anyways, like I said, like you guys are the most amazing and talented people I ever met, and like I just love you. And like this was an absolute joy. And this is not a goodbye, but a see you soon. So.
Hello, I'm Melissa Michael. I'm with Natural Science. I'm not entirely sure what I was expecting when I came to Governor School, but I think it was kind of along the lines of being here and doing schoolwork with a bunch of nerds. That was kind of what I was picturing. But the great thing about Area 4 was I got to know all of you outside of the classroom. And it was amazing seeing everyone else's passions and being able to enjoy those with everyone else. Especially student-led electives was really cool, getting to see people take what they loved and share it with the rest of us. Like there's Latin dancing, I don't know who. And it was also really cool learning, getting to know different things that I enjoy now too. I know I went to yoga, and that was one of my favorite electives, I think. But it was just great getting to know everybody outside of their Area 1 and as the people that you all truly are.
I'm going to steal a saying from my teacher Math Rob earlier today when he said that every day at Governor School is incredibly full because there is so much going on after the classes beyond what we signed up for. We've done everything from play Quidditch to build computers, learn personal finance, and struggle on the math challenges and eventually stop coming to them apparently. And I can literally just sit here and list all the electives and convocations and all the perspectives we've gained from them, and that would probably be a speech in and of itself, but there's something cooler I wanted to point out, which is that no one made us go to any of that. After sitting in class for 5 hours, we chose to put our phones away and then show up to electives anyways for an additional 2-3 hours of learning. And I'm not an English student, I don't have a 5-page emotional memoir prepared or a poem, but there's something magical about the joy of learning for the sake of learning. It's enlightening, it's humbling, it's above all, it's refreshing and enjoying because in the rough and tumble of the school year, it's so easy to lose sight of that between AP exams and GPAs and tests and homework and classes. It's so often we go to school because we have to go to school and not because we want to learn, which everyone here does. And the fact that Governor School has brought that back out in us, I think is the greatest takeaway we could possibly have. So thank you all for making this experience worth it.
Thank you, students, for sharing your thoughts. I know I could have asked any of you, so thank you for representing us all with your remarks. Next, we're going to hear original spoken word from Maggie Chambers.
My name is Maggie Chambers, and I was in social science. And I know I was supposed to do spoken word, but I just wanted to thank all of you for being my friends, and I just want to thank all of you for listening to me rant about so many problems. And all of you have your own spoken word, and just find what you want to talk about, and just always think about it. Governor School is the best place to be, and this is Oreo by Tucker Bryant. I miss the days when junk food used to travel through my stomach like a train without brakes. When I was a kid, my face would explode into a collage of pimples like pepperoni pizza, because who needs middle school crushes when you got Hershey's Kisses? The art of snacking used to be carefree and fleeting until I ate my first Oreo. There I was, swallowing them whole as the other kids twisted them apart, licked out the cream in the middle, and discarded of the brown pieces like used Kleenex. Someone told me that the white part just tastes better. The irony in all this is that my mother told me that you are what you eat. So when someone told me that I was an Oreo, nothing about this skin felt sweet. You see, when someone says you aren't really black, they smile a shade of ignorance, as if you're supposed to wear their words like a medal. They expect you to cling on to those words, as if their bigotry is the closest thing your hands will ever come to touching white privilege. When someone calls you an Oreo, they push the emergency exit button on their throat to force out a laugh to assure you you'd be a fool to be offended, because this is a thank you. This is a pat on the head for not forcing them to swallow the parts of you that don't sit well in their stomachs, in their suburbs, in their supremacy. Dear someone, thank you for not calling me a dog in order to make it feel like you own me. You are the reason I cannot raise my hand in class without feeling like a traitor to my own complexion, and that the only way I could jumpstart my career is being in a rap video. They called me an Oreo as if I was the first shade of brown they saw outside their Starbucks coffee cup in whitewashing. Whitewashing is adding creamer to your coffee in order to make it easier to swallow, because you love the caffeine, but you can't stand the way the black bitterness binds to your tongue. I am so sorry. I cannot sugarcoat my skin in order to give you a pick-me-up. And I refuse to shake hands with someone that believes mine belong in cuffs. We cannot abandon our blackness just because we become too far outside of your television screen. And I will never, ever, ever accept a world that expects me to leap out of my own ancestry in order to seek its approval. Because acceptance means more to me than looking for a reflection in someone else. What makes you think that the best I can do is be a reflection of someone I'm not? So forget you and your Oreo, your York bar, your peppermint patty, your Klondike bar. Stop calling us candy. You're feeding us empty calories, and they will never fill us. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Now we'll hear from Gabriel and Brian performing Don't Let Me Fall.
Hi. Hi. Every time. Say hi back. Hi. Hello? Okay, cool. So yeah, before I start, yeah, you gotta tune up. So, cool. So, Miss Laura Sam offered me to do this song yesterday, so I was like, okay, I won't scream at the dance so I can keep my voice. And anybody who saw me at the dance knows that didn't happen. So I'm kind of hoarse, but it doesn't matter, because, you know, whatever. I just want to say, well, one, shout out to my spirit animal, Natalie Kolosecki. There you are. Thank you. Every time. Hi. And then, just secondly, lastly, I've been up here, or been on the stage and performing for you guys a lot over the past 5.5 weeks. And I just want to say, you've been a great crowd. Thank you for hearing me. That's all. Hi, my name is Gabriel. I know that I can be annoying, so no more talking. I let my lyrics talk for me. I want to give you all of me until there's nothing left, so I can go happy when it's time to take my final breath. So excuse me if I ever feel distant. I'm distant because to me I'm the only person who will ever listen. For a while, I think I slipped into depression before I picked myself up and forced everybody to pay attention. Don't feel bad for me, this is not a pity party. I'm just up here trying to show you all where my heart is. So excuse me if I get messed up, but if I fall, I'm wondering, will you help lift me up? Through rain and sun, I'll give you my all, and in return, please don't let me fall, don't let me fall. Don't let me fall, no. Have you ever had that dream where you were falling towards the ground? For some reason I feel like that's what I'm in now. Life is coming faster, and it's hard for me to keep up. We all have these thoughts, I just want to be one to speak up. This is the last day, these tears I am not faking them. We used to be kids, man, when did we all make the switch? I used to have this urge and this passion to be acknowledged. I finished governor school and I finally feel accomplished. Sometimes I think I should just let this writing go, but this writing is my soul, it keeps me in control. This is not a hobby, it's a passion, and I'm not trying to make it big rapping. I'm just acting when I practice. Friends, this might be the end. Well, no, it's not. It's just a new beginning. I promise that our paths will cross again. They have to. I swear that it was destined. So through rain and sun, I'll give you my all, and in return, please don't let me fall. Don't let me fall. Don't let me fall. Listen, through rain and sun, we gave it all, and I know, we will never fall, we'll never fall, we'll never fall. Thank you.
Thank you, students who have expressed so beautifully what I think we're feeling in the community. Thank you, Gabriel and Brian. So today's my chance to share with you my observations and feelings about us, the Governor's School East of 2016. But before I go on with sort of a formal speech, I want to tell you a funny on myself. So you know how you you get to that point of sleep deprivation and emotions. You know, are you feeling it? You're feeling it, yeah? Okay, all right. Okay, well, let me tell you what I did this morning. So I got up, I got ready, took a shower and all. Sometimes showers are optional because y'all need your temperatures taken and whatever. I hate it for those days, but this morning I got my shower in, but then of course I had to finish my speech because it was, in a few minutes. Time to get it done. And I saw the thermometer sitting on the desk, and I said, oh, I'm not going to have to take any more students' temperatures. I'm going to just put this across the hall in Allison's office, because Andrew was off taking care of a nosebleed, or I don't need that thermometer anymore. So I picked it up, and I was going to go into the hallway, and so I knocked on the door to go out. The best part is I knocked on the door and then I politely waited for someone to say, come out. And no one did. So I just did. All right then. Today is my chance to share with you my observations. And I'm going to use the word proud many times. So get ready, because that's the best word I have to describe how I feel about us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the opportunity to serve as your site director this year. I have loved the time we've shared together. I appreciate the lessons that you've taught me. I'm incredibly proud of our Governor School East instructors, teaching assistants, counselors, activities, and office staff, medical coordinator. I'm humbled every day by your passion, intellect, creativity, and dedication toward your students and teaching and keeping us well. I'm grateful for the conversations you brought to this community, always pushing the boundaries of what we thought were the limits of our capacity of engagement. Let's take a moment to stand up and give a heartfelt thank you to the GSE faculty and staff. I'm incredibly proud of you students for so many reasons. I'm proud of you for navigating intellectual, emotional, and artistic territory that you perhaps had not yet imagined were there for your exploration. For writing and singing, for composing and creating, for imagining the experiment and the formula in search of the proof and the truth, for interpreting the stories, for researching the challenging topics, for creating the art, devising the theater, exploring the movement and meaning, for realizing a greater understanding of identity through language, and for exploring the world and how we might offer the best part of ourselves to it. I am proud of you for having real experiences, not necessarily made real because they were posted to Facebook with 100 likes. I am proud of you for reaching out to make new friends and for being a friend to others. Last night after the dance, I heard a student introduce herself to another student. So I know that even on our last day, because it was after midnight, people were getting to know one another. Remember the first few days when the staff encouraged you to make a friend and to be a friend? Well, you have. I'm proud of you for singing in the Big Sing, especially when you sang those eternally important songs of freedom and human dignity. I'm proud of you for dancing your hearts out, for playing in the euchre tournaments, for playing soccer and basketball and volleyball and going swimming. I'm proud of you for running the Meredith Mile and perfecting your frisbee tosses. I'm proud of you for working with your research groups during your free time, in the parlors and hallways, not because you were earning a grade, but because you were gaining knowledge and understanding, and you were contributing your voice to the conversation. I'm proud of you for performing in the variety show and for open mic, and for sharing at the poetry readings, for contributing your voices to GSF, to the East Side Story, and Swinging in the Summer. I'm proud of your poetry readings, and I'm proud of you for participating in the math and the science and the social science challenges. I'm proud of you for the questions that you asked at our convocation, and for participating in our blood drive. I'm proud of you for attending electives on subjects you knew nothing about because you were open and interested. I'm proud of you for supporting one another so that every venue was full whenever we had student performances and presentations. I'm proud of you for the manners I saw you display around campus toward one another and toward our Meredith College host. Time and again, people in the area have told me how wonderful you are, and it is true. And let's not forget that I am proud that Pokemon Go did not send you home. I know that I speak for the entire staff when I tell you that we're proud of you, as you have fully engaged in our community. I know that you have been stretched to think in new ways and create new connections in your Area 1 classes. I know that in your Area 2 and 3 classes, you have examined the human experience from multiple angles and have pondered your personal role in it all. As we continue our program, we're going to hear from Kaden Davis, who will share her poem with us.
Hi, I'm Kaden Davis. I'm here for English. I'm in the poetry class, but my confession is that I never wrote a poem before I came to Governor's School. So I have to say thank you, Chuck. Thank you so much for everything, because honestly, this has changed my life. So thank you. I'm crying before I read my poem. Okay. This poem is called The Last Summer for two reasons. The first is that this is our first and last and only summer together. And the second reason is that next summer, we're all going to know where we're going to college, and we'll kind of have to start figuring out what we want to do with our lives. And I just am so happy that for this summer, I can enjoy my last moments with you of just not knowing, and that's so beautiful to me. So this is how it goes. As you leave me, remember, the bend in your elbow as you prop your head on your hometown desk is an intersection. Along the paths where we connected, tucked like a secret between the folds of your skin, hiding our last moments of childhood. When you tasted like chocolate chip cookies, held your finger on the pulse of the universe and swing danced to it, absorbing the poetry of the laughter of strangers who could sound a thunderstorm in a dry auditorium. Magic more holy than the sacred, crooked smile of the Queen of Hearts. Summer song more soothing than the demand of destiny and duty. As you slump, I hope you remember where we walked together. Feel my blessing in your most everyday objects, because I too have stared into the sun, and the flash of brilliancy it burned in my eyes will forever retain your shape, even when I can no longer see you.
So now what? Here at Governor School East, you hopefully found a space to explore your interests and passions, not always gaining the answers, but developing the confidence to ask the hard questions of yourself and of others. Hopefully you're ready to take the lessons of Governor School back with you to your schools and communities, remembering that we are all still learning. If you leave Governor School eager to continue the conversations that we have just begun, then you will have achieved success. If you leave with a strengthened commitment to continue to improve both yourself and the world around you, then we have accomplished much. I would like to now invite our choral music students to take their places. As our program will continue with their performance of You Are the New Day. This will be immediately followed by a presentation prepared by our publications coordinator, Eric Gregory. Just a very short slideshow that will hopefully bring back many memories. I can see maybe we're having a hard time with that this morning. But we thank the students that were involved in that for that contribution, and we'll post that on our website. You can access this presentation and perhaps a podcast on our Governor School East website under the news. You Are the New Day, followed by our short slideshow.
I think one thing that's really helped me at Governor School along in life is just the people here. I feel more confident in expressing my own thoughts, my own emotions, my own ideas, because we have pretty open conversation where there's less judgment and more listening, and that's great when people listen rather than just you don't listen for the flaws in your arguments. You just pick them apart and listen to them and understand you first. And in the event that they disagree, just to respect what you said. They just might not share the same thing, which is totally fine. Just finding people that are willing to share ideas. I just think that's really helped this experience of others.
not necessarily like just a group of people, like people here and there who like I personally relate to, like, who has experienced the same hardship and who can find the time to just chill by the lake and not even think about anything and just feed the turtles.
On our opening day, I repeated an observation made by our poetry teacher, Chuck Sullivan, a faculty member here at GSE for over 30 years, who said that every summer is the same and every summer is different. Students and staff at GSE 2016, we have made this session our own, and there most definitely will never be another Governor's School quite the same. My wish for you is that when you take off your GSE lanyard, for the last time, I know, and didn't you hate it when I told you you had to wear it? That you never take off GSE and all that we've shared together at Governor School East. You're now invited to visit with one another in front of Jones Auditorium until the campus closes at 12:30. This now concludes Governor School East 2016.